She brought her sick albino dragon mother Riddled with millions of barnacles to the healers of Orion. Beginning, the twin sons of Arinder forecast their pale lavender glow across the sprawling plains of the dragon nesting grounds. The world was one of mystery and myth, a sanctuary where dragons of every hue, emerald-scaled, bronze-winged, obsidian-eyed, thrived under the watchful gaze of the ancient clans. But today, the nesting ground echoed not with triumphant roars of strength, but with the labored, rattling breaths of one of the most revered beings in all the galaxy, Aurelia, the albino dragon mother. Her scales, once a shimmering white so pure they reflected entire constellations, were dull, mottled, and grotesquely deformed by clusters of barnacle-like parasites that pulsed and spread across her body like a living cancer. Each barnacle oozed with a sickly green glow, and together they formed vast continents of infestation over her wings, belly, and neck. Aurelia's once proud roar was reduced to a guttural wheeze, her ancient eyes dimming, as if the stars themselves were fading. At her side was her daughter, Lyra, a young dragon barely 2 centuries old, with scales of soft silver of moonlight. Unlike her mother, she had not yet borne scars of battle or centuries of decay, but she bore something heavier, the crushing weight of helplessness. Lyra pressed her head against Aurelia's trembling flank, whispering in their secret tongue, "Hold on, mother. Please, hold on." The barnacle plague was no ordinary disease. It had been carried across the void on meteor fragments, seeded by alien spores that latched onto living hosts and grew into parasitic colonies. Entire dragon broods had perished, their bodies calcified into grotesque reefs of death. And yet, this was Aurelia, the matriarch of the albino line, the dragon whose wisdom had once quelled wars between empires. If she perished, an era of history would perish with her. Lyra knew there was only one chance. The healers of Orion, mysterious beings said to dwell beyond the Rift Nebula, were rumored to cure afflictions that no mortal or dragon could touch. Their reputation spanned not just worlds but dimensions. Some said they were more myth than truth, immortal physicians who had mastered both science and sorcery. Others warned that they demanded a price so steep that even kings had fallen to ruin after seeking them. But Lyra was beyond hesitation. For her mother, she would face whatever cost awaited. And so, with trembling determination, Lyra prepared to bring her sick mother across the stars. The journey was perilous. Aurelia was too weak to fly through atmospheric storms or navigate wormholes. Lyra had to call upon ancient alliances, begging the human colonists of the outer reach for a transport vessel large enough to cradle Aurelia's vast body. The humans, awed and horrified by Aurelia's condition, agreed, but not without whispers of fear. "She's dying," one mechanic muttered as they constructed the reinforced cradle inside the freighter's cargo bay. "No healer, Orion or not, can save something so far gone." Lyra ignored the whispers. She stayed by her mother's side as the vessel lifted off, stroking Aurelia's barnacle-covered scales, wincing at the heat of fever radiating from her body. The parasites pulsed rhythmically, as if drinking Aurelia's life force with every beat. Some cracked open, releasing tiny spore creatures that skittered across the bay, only to be burned away by the sterilizers. Days passed in silence, broken only by Aurelia's gasps and the deep thrum of the freighter's engines. Lyra refused to eat or sleep properly. She would stare out the viewport, watching the stars stream by, her mind plagued with doubts. What if the healers don't exist? What if they refuse us? What if their price is my mother's soul? But then Aurelia, even in her weakness, would open one fading eye and whisper telepathically, "You're stronger than you know, my daughter. If this is my end, do not let despair claim you. Promise me. Promise you will carry the albino line forward." Tears would choke Lyra every time. She was not ready for promises. Not yet. At last, after weeks of travel, the freighter reached the Rift Nebula, a swirling wall of cosmic storms painted in crimson, gold, and violet. At its heart shimmered the fabled gateway to Orion. Few who entered returned, and those who did spoke in riddles of what they had seen. The freighter pilot refused to go further. "This is as far as I dare. Beyond here, it's not space as we know it. You're on your own, dragon." So Lyra spread her wings. Weak as she was, Aurelia let her daughter guide her, the two of them gliding into the storm. Electricity danced across their scales. Space fractured into shards of light. And then sudden silence. They emerged in a place unlike any other. The realm of Orion was not a star system, but a sanctuary carved between dimensions. Vast floating citadels drifted on rivers of light. Structures of glass and crystal bent gravity, defying all natural laws. Great beings, some humanoid, others too alien to comprehend, moved across walkways of pure energy, and everywhere a hum of healing power resonated, as if the very air vibrated with restoration. The healers of Orion had revealed themselves. Lyra descended with her mother into the central plaza. There, a towering figure waited, a being robed in woven starlight, its face hidden behind a mask of living crystal. When it spoke, its voice rang in Lyra's mind like 1,000 harmonics. "Why have you come, child of scales and sorrow?" Lyra bowed low. "Please, my mother is Aurelia, the albino dragon mother. She is dying of the barnacle plague. I beg you, heal her." The healer drifted closer, studying Aurelia's failing body. The barnacles writhed at its presence, shrinking slightly as if in fear. "We can cure this affliction, but you know the law of Orion. Healing demands a sacrifice. What will you give?" Lyra froze. She had expected this, yet the question still sliced her like a blade. "Anything," she whispered. "My wings, my fire, my life. Whatever it takes." The healer tilted its head. "Not your life. Your mother's life is already claimed by time. What we require is your bond." Lyra's heart stuttered. "My bond? The albino line survives because of your connection. Your mother's soul flows into yours. To sever it is to save her body, but she will no longer know you. She will live, but she will be a stranger, a dragon with no memory of you." The choice crushed her. Save Aurelia's life, but lose her love forever, or let her mother die, but preserve their bond in spirit. Lyra's wings trembled. Her claws dug into the shining floor. She looked at Aurelia, who wheezed weakly, her eyes glazed with pain but still filled with love. "No," Lyra whispered. "There must be another way." The healer interrupted with a resonant finality. "There is no healing without cost." Ending. Hours stretched into eternity as Lyra wept beside her mother. Aurelia stirred faintly, brushing her snout against Lyra's. Through their bond, Aurelia's voice murmured faint and tired. "Daughter, I do not fear forgetting. What matters is that you remember me. Carry the albino flame. Let me live, even if I do not know you." "No," Lyra sobbed. "I can't lose you like that. Not like this." But Aurelia's strength was fading rapidly. The barnacles pulsed violently, spreading like wildfire. Lyra realized with dawning horror. If she delayed, Aurelia would die before the choice could be made. Shaking, she turned to the healer. "Do it. Save her. Even if she forgets me, let her live." The healer raised its crystalline hands. Light enveloped Aurelia, burning brighter than the suns of Arinder IV. The barnacles screamed. Yes, screamed. As they were incinerated, their parasitic colonies disintegrating into ash. Aurelia's body convulsed, her scales cracking, then reforming with renewed brilliance. When the light faded, the albino dragon mother lay breathing, steady, strong, alive. Her scales glowed like fresh fallen snow. Her eyes opened, clear and sharp. But when she looked at Lyra, there was no recognition, only polite confusion. "Who are you?" Aurelia asked, her voice free of pain but stripped of memory. Lyra's heart shattered, but she forced a smile through her tears. "I'm just someone who brought you here." The healer's voice echoed softly. "She lives. The bond is severed. The albino line continues through you." Lyra bowed her head. The sacrifice was unbearable, but it was worth it. Her mother would live, even if she could no longer call her daughter by name. Together, they left Orion's realm. Lyra guided her mother back across the Rift Nebula, silent tears trailing behind them. On the plains of Arinder IV, dragons roared in awe as Aurelia returned, healed and radiant once more. None knew the price. None saw the daughter standing quietly at her side, mourning what was lost but clinging to what was saved. And when Aurelia spread her wings to the sky, Lyra whispered to herself, "I will remember for both of us."